Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Time is a social construct, something. Welcome to Free Enterprise. Welcome to the. What is this? John, what is this the quarterfinals? Are we
This,
this far already?
I do believe so. And Rhybon is asking me. I'm going to work on my literacy here. John, and also he put John on Eddie, so Rhybon and I are going to have words.
No,
John, ask Martin about the glory of coconut wine. Thanks. Hey,
no,
Martin,
no,
what's up with the. No, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no.
Okay.
I hear it's discontinued and no longer exists, so we don't have to worry about that. What we do have to worry about is these objectives in front of us. And hey, by the way, the matchup is between Rhybon and McBain. Not that they haven't met, I don't know, in the last tournament,
Yep,
because, unfinished business, right?
there is a little bit of history between these two. If anyone is familiar with either one of these runners, you know that tonight is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Based off the available characters that we see on Rybon's side, we have no Fu, we have no Cecil, so that means it's an edge start. And just as I say this, McBain shows it to us.
Yeah.
How do you feel about an edge start? Do you know anything about these seeds? Are you familiar with the flags at all, Martin?
Hey, I've run a few. There's a water hag. They obviously grow on trees because, obviously I find them all the time. So, of course, there's one here. Ed starts are probably the most run and gun of the three starts, I think. It's Red Moon. You come with your full loadout. So, Edge is off and running immediately.
Yeah,
So,
his levels, the short swords, the black belt, the bandana, it's not uncommon to see runners with an edge start on Red Moon to just start taking out bosses first and
mhm.
worried about characters second.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a two-man show, or the Edge and whoever supporting character is. But I mean, the less characters taking actions, the faster you go. It's it's a John Madden type thing. So, but hey, we're off and running. Who's the support? What?
That's
That's a
that.
support.
That support.
That is a support.
And we have a
Wow.
we got a 50-50 chance at maybe knowing that that could be Ruby or that could be Elements in the Beigen spot. So we might be looking for a Baron key. Good chance at
Mm-hmm.
that. We got the
Mm-hmm.
Pan, so we don't have to worry about that. Maybe seeing some Fabul fading, maybe not. With this party, we are definitely off to the races.
Yeah, there's a lot, and yeah, we're gonna see decisions just right out the gate. But while we have a few seconds, two things: one, make sure go follow the runners.
Hmm.
McBain and Rhybon, both fantastic. McBain known for the T word that I'm not allowed to say. If anyone asks, I will tell you the T word stands for tie.
Oh, did I mention my
Those
cravat that I wore? Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that can happen. Also, please go follow Fiery Blizzard, Nyabari, and the one and only John Burkhead. They are all wonderful and amazing. And oh, by the way, hey, look, we're right in a Mist Cave. Well,
Yep.
and we're right out of Mist Cave.
Dark imps not required.
Yep.
So we are seeing some immediate divergence.
Ooh.
McBain saying, let's go get some categories. I'm assuming that means that we have early twin because that Porm can go ahead and join
Yep.
Palom. So that's going to help with some already solid firepower with Edge. Rhybon checking a boss right away because, of course, Edge can take out whatever's at Mist Cave should
Hmm.
he have wanted to. And there's a Sid. Is he going to pick him up or leave him? He's going to pick him up.
I mean, you look at just the 5 characters we know right now. That's a team. You have Edge, you have Yang, you have the twins, you have an Anchor and Sid. Once you find a Dwarfax or something, do you really care that much about the other two? Maybe.
But maybe not. I think
Exactly. Like,
a,
yeah.
a a large concern on some of these flag sets is will I find a white mage? That can be a bit of an issue.
Hmm.
Sid, in some cases, has turned into a white mage with a stack of Cure 3s once you find them. This could be your party.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm.
little tricky on T Pro. Sometimes I feel like they favor the mages a little bit, but as we
Mhm.
find a Kane,
It's an interesting decision. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rhybon throw away Yang for Kane here. Yang, once he grabs Yang, he'll probably dismiss him. Yang works so well with the slingshot that if the opportunity presents itself, ooh, we do love our punch mage, and boy does it take levels to get him going. But when it does, that is some fun.
Yep. It's looking less and less likely that we'll be able to do a D machine grind for a significant sling. The
Yeah.
only opportunity for Tella will be up on Ordeals in a bit of a vanilla spot.
Hmm.
But, you could sling on the Giant if you have 10 key items. That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah. And, it's not like we haven't ever found Telon ordeals before. That never happens.
No, no,
Nah,
no.
nah.
Of course not.
So, yeah,
Especially
and
when it's
there's...
even,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, when it's even more likely since you know that both Cecil and Fu are out of the picture.
Mhm. And there's McBain throwing away Yang. Yeah, it's... Kane is one of those. It's like you just find a spear, you find something, and he's off and running. Um, because there is no Cecil. If you decide you're gonna go stick your head in Evelyn and maybe find an Avenger, he's the only character left that can really use it. So,
I mean, even on T Pro, if there are two characters that really benefit from diving into Evelyn Castle, as we find an early Baron key, so we're going to find out
mm,
sooner, much rather than later, if that's Ruby or Elements in the Vanilla Bygone spot. If
hmm
there are two characters that really benefit from a dip in Evelyn, even on T Pro, it's Edge and it's Kane.
yeah, yeah, very much so. I mean, so it's not like money is a big issue here. You'll be able to afford things, like eventually maybe you find ninja swords for sale and things like that. S quarter is not on, so just a nominal amount of looting will probably get you the money you need. But it's always nice to find those items rather than have to go purchase them because I like to be able to buy Bacchus wine, sirens,
Flavored
hourglasses,
flavored
coffins.
coconut, right? That's what you're trying to tell me.
No, no,
Clearly.
the box wine is not coconut. No, no,
Okay. Box of wine.
no.
Oh, you classy you. Um, do you
Well,
find that there's? I do a lot of Blue Moon because I'm still currently in that tournament as we
hmm,
find Ogo at Hobbs,
mhm.
not required. Do you find that there's more looting on this flag set because you don't start with camping gear, or more
No,
shopping rather? Excuse me.
uh, no, I mean, you have to remember, like, camping gear is always nice. It is. It's nothing a stack of ether ones can't fix. Ether twos, anything of that nature. Just, I mean, usually if you're using a tent or a cabin, it's probably because your mage just ran out of MP.
Mhm.
So if you find those work as kind of a functional sort of tent, if you will, and I'm okay with it. You at least check the places you're in. So, like checking the characters in Mysidia. You're here. When's the next time you're going to be back here? Probably launching the whale. So, do you stick your head in the item shop? Of course you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and let me tell you how fast 10 life potions can go. Really fast. So yes, being able to buy a few extra, it's a good thing.
Yeah, a large difference between Red and Blue Moon, amongst many, is the fact that there is only one starting kit. Ooh, that's a nice Mute Knife pickup right there.
Hmm.
We'll see if McMahon goes in and picks that up. Not only is that a damage upgrade, but should we find some mages in rude spots? None of our required bosses have any kind of mage coding, but that doesn't mean that progression won't be behind a rude Ashura or
Hmm.
Baron guards with 42,000 HP. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. So that's a huge pickup for Rhybon.
Yeah.
There's only one starting kit, so not 20 life pots, but 10.
Hmm.
Maybe one siren. No camping gear, although you do have a couple of elixirs. So those life pots are a wonderful find.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one thing about this, obviously, it's not really coming in play yet. It might in the next 5 seconds, though, depending on what we see here on Rybon's side. But that second starter kit, the one that comes with the illusions and the elixir, that's okay. Well, Tella's not in the seed, so we don't have to worry about that. Um, but the elixirs are basically like a built-in D-money grind. So you're not, panic shopping for ethers and things of that nature. Is you
Uh,
have it gives you all the tools you need kind of immediately to just go off and running. So,
Yep. McBain will be dispatching with these dolls rather quickly. One flame should
mhm,
go ahead and take them out. We have Rhybon doing something I love to do, which is getting
mhm,
the twins a little bit online by using a siren up on ordeals. This is
mhm.
5,500 XP. And it might even. Is this going to. Oh, no, Kane's not high enough. This won't sling the twins. Um, but it is worth noting that Rosa was dismissed in favor of Porum. And I have to imagine the only reason for that is because of the exit spell.
Yep. That's exactly it. I mean, unless you accidentally saw them in a shop somewhere where, hey, you're going to buy a few exits. We know Rosa is the superior white mage. We get it. But exit saves time. So I'll get over it at that point.
Yeah.
So
Also, earlier blink, I mean, early game,
Mhm.
you could argue that Porm is better. It's just
Mhm.
getting to Cure 4, getting to decent levels, getting to,
Yeah.
if you're going to do Reflect strats, getting to White, or Life 2 for safety. It just takes forever.
Ever. Yep.
So,
So
but
I
Rhybon threw his mini grind, and ooh, those
yeah.
are longswords.
Yeah. So good thing about Rhybon, what he did here too. Assuming that okay, that's a nice boss to see here.
Mhm.
One, it's required. Two, it's free. The good part about it is doing those two sirens up here. Those two sirens plus these two bosses, as long as they're not split experience, will get the kid virus,
Virus is a good
and that
spell.
is huge early on. That's such an easy way to get that kid online. So
Yeah, between the power the spell has and the fact that there is absolutely basically no cast time whatsoever, it has
mhm.
a tremendous amount of utility, and it'll have an awful lot of use should he decide to go ahead and go into Cave Edwin.
Yeah.
For the skull chest, you can kind of figure it out after you cast Flame, but that virus, should Hallam live, will be able to
Mhm.
go ahead and one-shot any one of those bosses at any moment, and that's a huge help.
Mhm. Another big part, also those cats in Evelyn.
They're kidding.
You
What,
don't.
what, what do you have against cats?
Cats are terrible.
Cats are
Cats are
terrible.
mean and they are evil and like you touch them and if they don't go away, they counter and either you are stunned by how angry they are or you just die. So having a way to one shot a cat is wonderful, a la virus. This is
Here's
gonna
another
be
reason why that grind is nice
yeah. So about this fight.
about this fight.
Um, Short version of the fight. It's 64% of the HP total is what triggers the explode chain. At that point, if you can't do 10,000 damage to it, it explodes. Well, that explosion here does roughly about 250 to 300 damage to your entire party.
Yeah,
So even now, you probably could still write off your mages. Fortunately, you have edge, so this is great. But otherwise, ouch.
there are a handful of rude bosses you can find at this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Plague over here is awful. Bi can be a little tricky, and this, because of exactly what you're talking about, as we see the damage totals
Mm-hmm.
going through here. And you were just talking about how important, I mean, the experience here is split, so we'll see if Palm actually does get up to virus or not.
Yeah, it
But
will be close. There it is.
hey,
Okay, so we're still
thanks, got
fine.
virus, so we're good.
Yep.
Thanks, Rybon. Thanks for that. Um, yeah, that spot has potential to be just awful, and especially after such a free boss, a lot of people might not go ahead and save between the first and the second. And while
Hmm.
DKC is free, it's a little bit of time. So if you wipe there, it feels a little bad.
Exactly. So
So
yeah, this is about the speed we expected the hook or the ordeals to be done. Like we said earlier, it's Edge. He powers through just about everything, and having twins with you is also wonderful. So let's
yeah,
uh let's
when
see
you
what we get out of this. Well,
so much value,
I
so
mean,
much.
for now he can use it. I guess that's okay. Look at Rhybon.
Okay,
That's a rarity that you're gonna see. No Cecil, no Tella, no reason. Why am I gonna sit through the cutscene?
there is a certain tall Grant in chat who I promise is grinning like a Cheshire cat from ear to ear because he
Yeah.
talks about the value of saving before you go in.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a Tella, and if you don't have a Cecil,
Yeah.
if you don't get a key item, and if you don't get a boss. I mean, those are four things. I mean, the likelihood of all four of those is not terribly high. I can't imagine. Math is hard, and I count to four for a living. But
Mm.
Rhybon, anticipating it, saves a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. And
Uh,
I mean, look, look. We've seen races decided by what 9 and 6 seconds already in the tournament.
a little disappointed with
Those
the order that you
seconds,
said that, but that's correct.
those
Uh,
seconds matter. Now, I wasn't gonna say it the other way for
yeah, okay,
reasons,
okay,
but
all right,
yeah.
okay. If I'm
Remember,
suddenly
we're
muted,
hey, we're family friendly here,
okay,
okay? Even
okay.
though we talk about things like coconut wine and Avenger being like a rotisserie and barbecue and things like that, but
Oh. And I love that Rhybon picks up an Earth Hammer anyway. Like, how many times have you bought an item only to find it in a chest later? Well, here Rhybon
What?
force quits out of an Earth Hammer only to find it later.
I was gonna say, why you can bring that up?
Because it's fun.
No, it's not. It's horrible. It stinks.
All right. Well,
Dark Elf? Eh.
this spot is so slow, and Edge
It
is
is.
so fast that
He
even without
is.
weaker Holy Sword, this is not going to make it long. And hey, we're using the Earth Hammer. See, look at that. Look at the
Yay.
look at the value. So we'll see Virus come out here. That'll trigger the change. This won't be long. And since we already have the Baron key, we're going to go ahead and more than likely just go ahead and route in at a minimum the Vanilla Beigen spot, especially
Mhm.
since there's a 50% chance that that is required, and
Yeah.
go to the throne.
Yeah. I mean, you look at this party right now too. Um, you're not gonna have a problem with it. Like
No.
it's pretty straightforward. Like if you can do the Baron N2 location, you probably can do Baron Castle proper. Basement, completely different story. Crystal, I could do without those, but it's okay.
It's money. I mean, that's
It is.
decent money. You know,
It is. And
this party's going to want sirens. You might want a handful of Bacchus wine.
we have the Baron shop like right in front of us. Maybe
We
there's
do.
ninja swords there that we can't afford, and we're just gonna window shop and be well, or just find a disposed of longsword in a pot there, because as one does. Well,
Those ninja stars aren't so bad.
yeah, you know,
Do you want to talk about the back row fun that exists on these flag sets?
there is no back row fun.
Oh, that's right. That explains
Yeah,
it.
no, there's back row pain.
Back row pain.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so no cheesing by, oh, I'm just going to equip a full moon and take it off, and hey, look at me, I can do full damage to the back row. Like,
Yeah,
no,
the way you
you
said
don't
that,
get
I feel
luxury.
attacked because that's like what I would say verbatim on.
You don't get that luxury, so
Nope.
no, you find CPU, have fun.
I will. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So Rhybon doing a little extra looting. That coffin could come in handy. But let me tell you, if we find Evil Wall at the King Queen spot, which is going to punch really hard, it's only 6,000 HP, but a
Yeah.
Ninja Star, which is a guaranteed 2K right off the bat, that Ninja Star, if you purchase it, could come in handy.
Yeah, very much so. I personally, I like it just because of certain fights that exist out there where, yeah, the back row thing is a problem, or just fights that you need to do that amount of damage before bad things occur. Demist would be a great one if you like to shortchange that fight. There's a few of them. Like a couple of darts can go a long ways. So we'll see if one of them rears their head here at some point.
For sure, it's probably a when we think about these flags, you think about Edge starting. I think the immediate thought is his agility and his gear. His darting ability can be enormous
Yes.
for a lot of the fights. For everything you just said, let's
Mhm.
find out, required or not.
Survey says.
Ding,
Well,
ding.
that's a guy.
That's a guy.
That's a guy. I don't think he's gonna have a very good day here shortly.
No, those fire twos are a little is underwhelming. The word I'm looking
and
for.
that is exactly why. So, is this the part where I have to say Kane is actually doing good things?
I mean, Kane, when given the appropriate gear, can go ahead and do good things, and
Yeah.
technically, an ice brand against a fire boss might do some good things.
Yeah. I guess if he's a vessel for an Avenger, he can be one for an Ice Brand. All right, fine.
Yep. McBain's fight going a little quicker, dove into that ice 2 a little bit faster, so we're gonna see some nice symmetry on screen here.
I like it. We're in the same spot, same time, two bosses down. This is it shows off the talent of the runners. They are both very good.
Yeah, we
Rhybon-
haven't gone into that too much.
Yeah, Rhybon top 8, and I'm sorry, even top 4 in the Adamant Cup last tournament. McBain, McBain, please keep him away from Rex Banner for reasons. Admins don't like that. It's like oil and napalm mixed together. It's just bad. Okay.
Speaking of bad, I hope we're anchored. We have a chance at a blarg here.
We'll be fine.
Nah,
We'll be
it's not a blarg.
fine. Yeah.
This is actually a pretty the magic can be a little bit high here. Should they go into virus, I don't think we'll see any direct casts, but we're
Nah.
seeing some cure threes being tossed out. This is actually a pretty generous spot to find what can be a very
Mhm,
trolly, very rude boss,
mhm.
especially when you don't have back row glitch.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, those Cure 3s that come as part of that starter kit for us. Yeah, weaponizing Cure 3s. I mean, could you think of a better spot to use them?
Not off the top of my head. That was
Man.
a very disappointing Gaia drum. Was that?
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately, this spot does have magic defense. So you kind of have to watch out for that.
Yeah. But McBain, well aware of the HP totals, so the fact that it's 4,000 split to the two, so 2,000 each. Both of our runners are through. Um,
Yay!
there was a good amount of chatter off stream leading up to this match because you see
Hmm.
it on paper, along with so many of our tournament matches. Like you look at it, like, oh, this is gonna be a good one,
Mm-hmm.
and we are seeing that here very quickly.
Yeah, same spot, same time, same bosses done. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that water hag sitting down there too. That's also a great thing to see because that doesn't happen very often.
No,
This
do you
is
want to
what,
talk?
yeah, this
What's
is what second time we've seen it on restream.
and what is the percentage possibility of having water hag?
It's a low number. Let's just say it's under 1%.
Yeah, that is a low number. I would
Yeah,
mathematically agree.
yeah.
Okay, finding the pass. Where have our runners not been? Oh, are we going to Zot one?
I plead the fifth. I
So,
know nothing.
my giggles.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You have the hook. We're fine.
Oh,
But you bring up a very valid point about Zot 1. Um, you will probably see this at some point. I don't know if we'll see it today, but it's a thing. So Zot 1 has a very fun characteristic because we have the ability to see what's sitting in Dwarf 2 when you beat the boss. Well, you're on a boss hunt. So there could be a boss you need up there. Usually you don't go up there without the Earth Crystal because, I mean, who would do that? That's just silly. But having that information, what if you could just fade Dwarf completely?
Dwarf loses quite a bit of its versatility since the
Yeah,
warp glitch is not on.
yeah.
So it becomes a spot that you can go ahead and face check pretty quickly. As you
Mm,
just said, if you go up Zod, even without the Earth Crystal, you see who that boss is. And if you walk into King Gaiat's throne room, you'll see whomever it is just hopping over there. And if it's not
hmm
required, do you really want to sit there with two non-required bosses for one key item?
And a cutscene and all that. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's interesting questions you always pose during a race for this exact reason because there are reasons to do that check. Personally, for me, I like pairing it with like the twin harp. To where
Yeah,
if I'm going to commit to the twin harp, well, Zot one's right there, so I better, make it worth my time. So I might as well do both of them while I'm there.
yeah.
Um,
Routing is such a huge part
mhm,
of a quick time.
mm,
Which is why it's very nice that both of our runners were able to go ahead and route in Baron Castle
mhm.
along with Baron Inn.
Yeah, exactly. So, and going back to that whole time thing, yeah, you saw Rhybon reset out of ordeals. So I mean, that probably saved. What would you think? 30 seconds, maybe, if not
I,
more.
I think more than that.
Yeah.
Because the cutscene, you hear about Tella, you hear about Cecil. Cecil turns into Paladin wherever he might be.
Hmm.
You can skip the music a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's significant.
Mm.
McBain is giving us a check that we didn't get from Rybon. McBain's going down in the Baron basement. I don't know if we're going to be able to take on the boss, but we'll get some knowledge.
Okay. Well, we know we never have to come back. Well, we might have to come back. let's not put that one on us to quite yet, because hey, that could have our darkness crystal. Who knows?
Correct. Case
But
Summit is on. And I missed who was in the waterfall, but I can't imagine the boss was required.
it goes blarg, but it's not the one that we're completely frightened of.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
some Bahamut.
Yeah.
So at 22 minutes, having done exhausting really every possible check, Rybon
Hmm.
is heading down Cave Eblin. We're gonna do
Hmm.
some light, maybe some light looting, maybe some heavier. Finding the Staleman chest quickly is actually quite nice.
Very much so. Because now we have, free looting capability. And, if these shops happen to have something nice, now we have the ability to loot, maybe go back and sell off a few things and afford it. So, That's
That's
yeah.
nice. That's
Yes.
a good shop. Good
Yeah,
good shop.
except one problem. You see that
Mm,
17,000 sitting on Rhybon's side?
I do. I do.
Yeah. Isn't window shopping fun?
And what's
Spoilers,
frustrating
it's not fun. In free enterprise, it's not
and a
fun.
Sork robe
And yeah,
and a
Cacklog,
charm rod.
Charmrod, like, no, this is horrible. This is temptation. That's what this is.
And this is kind of an obnoxious spot to get back to.
Oh, well, glad.
Well,
See,
there's a
I
charm
would have
rod.
bought a Charmrod, and then I would have found that, and well, we know where that goes. So, there you go.
I would not be shocked to see either one of our runners just loot, warp a few times, and then go back to it, because you don't want to go back to buy more Bacchus wine. And if you want to be able to go ahead and do your grind, it's a little different when you're a little melee heavy. But you might not be thinking, 30 Sirens in a dream.
Hey, John.
Yes, Martin?
I know that you're not Tybalt,
Mhm.
and we still love you for it.
Oh, thank
But
God.
what level does Paladin warp at?
29.
Uh-huh. How are we warping out of here again?
Listen, I'm used to having some Tella. Okay. See, you said it in a real gentle way, as we see Leviathan, but the unbridled joy in that full-blown belly laugh. And here's the thing: there's good. Why not? Sure, second charm rod. At least I'm happy that you're happy. See what I did there?
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. Hey, look, ogres.
Hey, look, Rhybon has a mute knife.
Hey, look, we have Steel and Cry.
Ooh.
Mmm.
So
I will put folding money on the fact he steals somewhere between 3 and 5.
I'll take that bet. I'll go 2. Okay. All right. When I win, what do I get?
The undying affection of chat.
Yeah, I'll take that. I've been going for that ever since I joined Restream Team. I'll take it. I don't know, buddy. He's not casting.
Oh, he did buy 3. Okay. I may have gleaned over that part.
Chat has to love me. We'll see
if he if he hadn't bought them though.
I don't need your qualifiers. Okay. At what level did he buy all of those Bacchus wine?
Hold on. Did McBain buy any? Hold on. I have an out here.
Well,
okay,
clearly...
so McBain is stealing. Okay, I got it half right.
All right,
Yay!
all right.
See, there's the stop. Except we don't have anyone to cry though. That's a little sad, but that's okay.
We don't have anyone to cry. That's a little sad. Womp 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 womp. Do you think McBain is planning on hoping to find Earth Crystal at some point where Rosa learns exit, hoping to buy them, or do you think he just doesn't care?
That's a tough one. I've gotten really good at like warping out of the LSD. That doesn't mean I like it. So I really hope that he's like, I'm gonna find him in a shop somewhere, preferably underground, preferably soon.
And the pass makes it more likely that if you're going to do some kind of face checking, if you want to leave the package, if you want to leave a late twin harp, coming back doesn't feel so bad. But I guess at that point, it's somewhat likely that you would have gone ahead and done Zot. This fight's getting away from McBain a little bit. He's ironically using one of his Bacchus wines with an ogre axe to get through it.
Look at the ogres. They look angry. Of course they're going to punch you. Unfortunately, they hit really hard as well, so yeah.
Yep. I mean, the word mad is literally in the title, so
that is
predictable.
Yeah. I still don't quite get how they're classed as mages, but okay. Hey, it's a blue robe. That's required.
It is required.
Hey, look who it is.
Yeah, that's an angry water hag. A little more deceptive, but man, can you feel it with each one of those punches? It destroys me that my name is of that particular character. The worst character in the history of RPGs. I don't care if this costs me my love from chat. It's terrible. Awful. I like the little celebration from McBain too, getting through that. Final winner snack.
Yeah. I mean, okay, look. It could be worse. It could have been like a vampire or something. At least it's a useful item for the party.
That's true. That's true.
So,
It's a nice
yeah.
little bit of a wisdom increase. A
Yeah.
vampire, ironically, could have been used to go ahead and advance the script if we needed to.
Hmm.
But either way, Rhybon is ready to go ahead and take on Leviathan.
Yep.
25,200 HP here, quite a bit. The magic is moderately high, but I don't think our runners are going to have any problems.
Nah, you're looking somewhere in the 300 to 500 range roughly. So it has possibilities depending on who it targets to cause problems. But overall, nah, this is turn your Zerkers loose and sit back and relax.
Yeah, we might have some, we found those life pods, which is nice, so we might have to pick up the occasional character.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Palmless, look at that. Might need to be picked
Yay.
up a little bit with some HP because the wave will come out in a little while. Quake being on Palm is significant. You all go ahead and see the damage there. So, and Porum giving herself a little bit of defense. Any ice too will be reflected. It's a pretty heads up play.
So while we have a minute, obviously this is race number 1. So we are in the quarterfinals. So this is best of 3 going forward in Redmond.
Yeah.
Do you think between these two, these are two very well-versed runners. They've been around the block. Do you think some of the decisions that we're going to see coming up might play into that? Where it's like, you know what, I can risk this because worst case, I don't fall in the waning. I'm just down 0-1. You know, does that come into play as a runner? Where
I
it's
think
like,
so.
hey, yeah, you know, do I do the cheeky play and, you know, worst case, okay, I just got to win the next 2.
I think it's going to be more relevant in regards to how they're feeling. If, for example, if McBain maybe feels a little behind because of that Mad Ogre fight, I think that's still going to be more of a driving force of whether or not you feel behind and then you're a little more aggressive. But I do, to your point, I think it does give our runners a little bit of freedom. Both Rhybon and McBain both know how good everybody in this race is. So I think they're feeling a little bit of tension. Ooh, that's a Thunderclaw from McBain. That's going to speed things up a little bit. But yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. I think we might see a little more aggression from our runners than maybe they wouldn't do because they do have that little bit of a safety net of the fact that this is best of 3.
Very much so. So, oh, hey, look, Leviathan's gone.
Yep. And McBain will not be far behind. We can go ahead and maybe make note of the time. So it looks like it'll be about 30 minutes, maybe about 10 seconds when a tragic pitfall happens. We'll see when McBain gets down.
So, you know, you bring up the fact about, you know, feeling behind, et cetera, so forth. I mean, you look at these two runners, like, yeah, Rhybon's dropping the hook right at 30 minutes. McBain probably be behind at 31 and change. Do you really feel behind at that point? Like, it's a 31-minute hook route. Like, that's pretty good.
I mean, if I'm Rhybon, as we see...
With the berry thrown in, and yeah, I saw that guy. We know who that is.
And since we know who that is, we also have the ability to go ahead and prepare for it. The magic's pretty low up there, right?
Yeah, it's non-existent. You know,
and there's a lot of HP up there, right?
20k and some change. So, I mean, let's put it this way: he's not going to help you kill him. You're going to need to do it yourself. So, right. Yeah.
So the manner with which you go ahead and prepare for that, you know, piggy strats or side strats might not be as effective because you can't go ahead and berserk yourself up when you're in that state. So
exactly,
it might take a little bit of work to go ahead and set up the way they want to.
Yeah. Does this surprise me at all? What Rhybon's doing? No, you have the pan. Of course you're going down here immediately. Like, come on.
Absolutely. And we have there's some dwarf toilet water, which of course will go ahead and revive all of us.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this will be great.
Toilet water. Any predictions on the Panbok?
I was gonna say, you think that guard ever gets a day off?
I've never seen him snooze, you know?
Yeah. I've never seen him not there, or, you know, yeah. I mean, I wonder.
Maybe when he gets tired, he sips on the pot. I don't know.
I mean, there is no one else really around. Oh, no.
Oh,
I don't.
Man.
Okay, I don't have that button. Like, I wish I could get Solaris to like record it because he does it better than anybody, and it's not even close.
What, you talking about Solaris? All right. So chat. Do you want enthusiastic? Do you want apathetic? What do we know? Hold on.
No, it's emotionless and devoid of life.
All right, hold on.
That is what they want.
Okay. Yay. We can get underground now.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you.
pretty good.
I've been teaching middle schoolers for 17 years. I might have picked up a thing or two.
I was gonna say, I feel like that one should come pretty easily to you. So yeah. Oh,
that's a dart.
It's a face check dart. I like that dart.
That's a that's a good dart.
Yeah.
That's a good shot
ether
too.
ones.
There we go. Those can certainly help. Those can, as you were talking about earlier, can pass for a little bit of camping gear. Rhybon doing a lot of inventory management, selling quite a few of the things. Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, so 10 ether ones can certainly go ahead and help to elongate a trip down the LST or somewhere else. And Rhybon doing a little more shopping.
Nah, don't need it. Don't need it. They're on healing duty. That's exactly as far as they go. So, nice item, though. A lot of fun to play with. That is a terrible shop.
I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, that was... Yeah,
not great for a gated shop.
No.
That NPC that's worse than Kaipo.
I would love
the
to
worst.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
So about the morbs.
Have you ever seen anyone leave a Fey March faster than that?
Nope.
I don't think it's possible. Like, I literally don't think you can be like, nope.
Yeah. One is like the worst like cutscene I talk too much in the game, and the other one is orbs. So yeah, nah, I'm good. Literally forever.
So that means that, the Darkness Crystal is somewhere. Now that's a good shop.
Yep, hourglasses are nice.
Yep, and backup star veils are also very nice.
You notice he left himself with exactly enough money to buy a ninja sword?
It's almost as if he knew they cost 66,000.
Right? And then we're broke again. Yep, welcome to free enterprise, folks. Money comes and money goes.
I was about to say, it means that he'll go ahead and find... He's already got a black shirt. He's fine. I was about to say, he's going to definitely go ahead and find one immediately after, but I forgot that this is not T-WoW. This is T-Pro. Yep. Finding a ninja sword is a little less likely.
Yeah. It's okay, though. I mean, one makes such a huge difference on Edge. I mean, Ninja Mute Knife is a perfectly functional combo here. You notice Rhybon blew right past Dwarf.
Check your freebies, do your objectives. So I'm willing to bet he's going to get his freebies and probably go do Golbez next.
Well, I was going to say, it's not even that, though. It's, okay, if, let's say this turns into the Twin Harp or the Earth Crystal. Once again, we're back at that Dwarf 2 play, where it's like, he may not need to do Dwarf at all.
Yeah.
So doing this first actually makes sense. A case could have been made to do Golbez immediately before you come up here, just for that reason, but I like this in case the tower key exists. There's a lot of things here that easily could drive you a direction very quickly.
Yep.
Exits! He found him!
He did.
Yay! And he bought two! Woo!
And there... that's a loaded Sheila.
Well...
Earth Crystal and Tower Key. Wonder where he's going next.
You're up Earth immediately. That's not even a question.
And 36 minutes in, you have no money. You think maybe we're gonna
open
be raiding that treasury?
Pro treasury? Oh baby, is that gonna be fun?
I'm here for it. Any predictions? I'm gonna predict
nothing above a tier 6.
I'm gonna say Artie Bow as our big pull.
Okay, that's a tier 6. That's fine.
Okay.
I like Possum and Chat 3 crystal swords. I still haven't seen a 3 tier 8 treasury on T Pro ever. So,
have you seen them on T Wildish?
I don't really play a lot of T Wildish, but I'm pretty sure they exist.
All right, let's raid that treasury.
Raid that treasury.
I'm gonna rate that shirt out of 10.
Yeah, that's money. I mean, 2 ninja shirts, 2 Heron robes.
Yeah, shirt out of 10.
Almost 80K right there.
Yeah, I did get another ninja sword though, so that was nice.
Another ninja sword. So that edge is, it's not Masamura, it's not a Supersmith, but that edge is certainly online.
Exactly. So.
And that ninja shirt can, this Zot 1 spot is so obnoxiously slow that if you anchor with edge, throw that ninja shirt on, it's going to be even faster. So.
Yep. So
Not so bad.
while we were distracted, hey, look what's going on McBain's side.
Was that a required evil wall?
That's an evil wall down. So we know dwarf is, in all reality, it's required. So what's the second boss that we're gonna see? Super required.
Wow.
Mega required.
Dwarf Castle saying, I don't care what moon you are. I matter.
Okay.
I'm important, and gosh darn it, people like me.
We have minor problems we need to talk about. That's 6 that we know of. We're at 38 minutes.
And we have the pass.
Yeah. Huh. So about this earth crystal.
Let's go.
I'm wondering, could maybe a little vanilla is Zot2?
That would do the trick.
That would qualify.
That would certainly qualify.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that maybe a certain Elven Sorrow went ahead and rolled the seed.
No, we get to blame Nyabari for this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get a little bit of the blame for the water hag, since so I'm constantly chasing water hags. But yeah, no, this is all Nyabari's doing. So well done.
Let's see what we got.
The free is fine.
So let me ask you: if you get Darkness Crystal, are you just going with one boss left?
With 6, yeah.
And
You're on the moon ASAP. That's not even a question.
Yep.
So the only question is, do you try to be cheeky and do the giant for your levels?
It depends on your key items. I'd have to magically avoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right now, with both halves of tower waiting for you.
I was about to say, you might, if you have darkness already, you might only face check that tower, but for the hope of 10 key items, if the tower boss is not required, you might complete it anyway, just to go ahead and get there.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious about the second boss. That's the one that really gets me right now.
Yep. Rhybon doing some slow anchoring because if you find a blarg there, it is less than ideal.
Hey, pig meta time! Oh
That's
boy,
right.
Pigs!
So when we walk through the door, if it is white ears, it could be a sparkle or a red sprite.
Yep.
Yellow ears could go ahead and mean blue or purple.
Yep.
If it is the void, it won't be because that's either CP
We've seen
or
them
evil
both.
wall.
Yep.
That's yellow.
Okay.
In terms of required bosses, we know Golbez is off the table. It can't be Baigan. I guess it could be Val. Or is Val?
No, Val has red in her sprite. So
Okay.
yeah, so literally this is not a required boss.
Oh, wait, have we seen Baigan?
Baigan is not.
Right,
Baigan is white ear.
So we got some French vanilla. The magic here is a little high.
Yeah, Mindy needs to go like literally now, or somebody's dead.
That mute knife is gonna help.
Help.
We got a 20% chance of this getting very interesting.
And kaboom.
Ooh. Oh,
okay,
he lives.
survived it. All right.
Okay. Even without back row glitch, 3,000 on that very, 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 very back Cindy.
There you go. Yeah, sisters can get really out of hand, especially like you said, if you weren't anchored properly, that gets really bad. So
hey Martin.
Yeah,
we should pay better attention to things.
No, I saw it and I was so enamored by the pig meta that I got distracted.
Yeah, me too. This little piggy that did. So in your, as someone who curated, you're the architect of these particular flags.
One of. I have a percentage of blame here, but yes.
Okay. So if as we get, I'll pay attention now. Earth Crystal getting Arty arrows. That feels awful from start to finish. So do you think finding 2 required bosses and the Darkness Crystal makes Dwarf Castle important in this particular seed?
Yeah, I think I would sit through the cutscenes for that. Just throwing that out. Yeah, might have been a good idea.
Your patience is admirable. Rhybon doing more shopping after that treasury.
I mean, hey, you got money, you got to spend it, right? Makes sense. So, let's get to this though. You asked earlier about 6 bosses and going straight to the moon. Part of that logic also, and we have to look at Rhybon's side for this because McBain doesn't have the Earth Crystal yet. You look at what Rhybon can't put eyes on right now. There's only 3 bosses he can't see.
Correct. Twin Heart package.
Yeah, if you're going to play the game, you assume one of your bosses is probably behind one of those 3 items, which means 7 are available, which means in all reality, you're in go mode. So with that thought process, yeah, you're on the moon ASAP.
Yeah.
So if you still had outstanding, like let's say for example, like you were missing the Baron key, like we didn't have the Baron key at all, that might change your idea a little bit. Because not having eyes on 5 bosses, that's getting a little sketchy.
Agreed. It is worth remembering that McBain will more than likely quickly get both Earth Crystal as well as Earth Crystal and Tower Key, because it was behind freebies. It was behind Shield 1, Shield 2, and he's already done his Panbonk.
Yeah. And the McBain part, I don't envy McBain right now because it's going to be a decision. He's going to sit there and be like, I'm at 6 bosses. I'm sitting in Fabul right now with an Earth Crystal and a Tower Key in my hand. 2 bosses are literally right next door to me, and one of them is a very short sprint up to the Tower Key to see what's there. I have an opportunity to fade the entire moon because I have the pass in my hand.
Yeah, and we have seen it.
Do I do it?
It's not completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
It has happened.
Yeah, I don't envy McBain for that decision because it probably will decide this.
Agreed. So on McBain's side, we are seeing some of the difficulty with the spot. We were talking about this earlier. Golbez is not going to take himself out, as Rhybon is progressively going to learn about the importance of Dwarf Castle, and will more than likely be heading up the tower right away.
Yeah.
It's unclear. I guess since Rhybon completed Zot entirely, I'd say Rhybon maybe is still a little bit ahead, since I think it's likely McBain will go ahead and do Earth Crystal before we go. Although maybe not. Not with the pass.
Yeah.
He might just go to the moon and face check and come back.
Yeah.
This is getting good. It's getting good in a hurry.
And we do know where sirens are. We saw them earlier. So...
Speaking of sirens, I believe that Porm is going to be going into full-blown... rip Rosa. Going into full-blown anchor duty. Rosa, having learned to exit since Rhybon has completed Zot, might be putting Porm down and having Rosa become the primary white mage.
Maybe. It's hard to say, right? I mean, you look at the party comp right now, like, you don't have a curse string, so who's your anchor? Right now, it's Rosa because she's on the ground.
Correct.
So, you know, Sid, unfortunately, as Sid does gain a few levels, his agility does get a bit high. You're into the 10-11 range, and all of a sudden your mages kind of get outside the realm of agility, you know, shenanigans. So maybe grabbing that Rosa is because, well, she's an 8 agility anchor. That's about as good as it's going to get. So
that's true. And Rhybon did go back. I'm not sure how many sirens he has, but he certainly did pick some up. And he has to imagine he's getting the 10 key items. McBain cannot check the tower. That's a check that we'll be getting from Rhybon only, because Rhybon turned in the pan before going up there. But McBain is up to 6 bosses. I'm extreme. He'll probably turn in the pan.
In 5 minutes, we're going to have a very interesting decision on our hands. So
these are the seeds that make me nauseous, where you can do basically anything and you have to figure out what's right.
Well, that's the thing, though. There's no wrong decision here. You have 6 bosses.
Lies. Anyone that watches my streams know there's plenty of wrong decisions.
Well, okay, look, when you come out on the wrong end of it, yes.
Okay.
But in the moment, is there a wrong? No, there really isn't.
McBain finding some hourglasses that'll help with grinds for sure. Let's see. McBain's got 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 key items. He'll get 6 and 7 from Sheila. Still quite a bit away from 10. This is where did the spoon come from? Oh, has he not been in the Fey March yet?
I don't think so. No. But he is
and
now.
that's where he's headed. And I'm certain he'll go ahead and use one of those exits almost as quickly as Rhybon did.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that brings up, and I see chat talking a little bit about what this grind is going to entail. That's also a good question. We don't have a great way of killing dragons right now.
We don't.
So
if we have mute, we do have Bacchus and a mutant knife. I think Warlocks might be on the table. That's a grind I personally happen to like.
Yeah, but that also requires you to go to the moon. So
hey, do you know why we have a tracker? Because
they don't trust us to do more than one job.
Listen, I'm doing a great job looking at one screen and then ignoring the other one and having chat help me. Fiery Blizzard reminding us that we did get we did get arty arrows.
Yeah, which is a viable solution. It's also a very quick way of doing eggs. So, staying on Earth right now and just doing X amount of sirens and just one-shotting eggs repeatedly, probably going to be faster than trying to play with a pair of dragons.
Ideally,
stunning them, berserking your arty arrow caster, and waiting for hopefully targeting to go correctly, and a life glitch. And so you can see this going both ways. So you'll probably see one and or both of them, depending on if they decide to go with the moon.
Do you feel good for both of our runners taking on? Oh, he's going, baby. He's going. McBain says, I don't need your Fame March freebie. I don't need your shield check-ins.
Or, you know what the great part about this cutscene is?
You get some time
to think.
Okay, well, as someone who doesn't do that often, then I wouldn't understand that.
You're probably launching the whale regardless, but this makes you think about, all right, is the pan worth my time? You look at the key items, like what are you willing to chase at this exact moment?
Also, you can save scum. You can save right outside the wheel. Go check it. If it's garbage and trash, you just come right back. Okay, exactly. All right. Fair point, Martin Bloco. Have you played this game before? It seems like you have some good insights and some good instincts.
Just a little, a couple.
Just a little.
Ish.
Okay. Good to know. Is Rhybon going to go tower first? He is not. Making us wait to find out who that boss is, because if that's number 7, this is going to be wild. Because that crystal will, of course, be a key item.
187, Scala.
187.
Yeah. Add in the blue moon scenes, I'm in like 217 now.
At what point did you decide to? I mean, those are very specific. He is going up. John.
All right.
At what point did you start counting? Like, I have no idea how many seeds I've ran.
So it's very easy to count. See, what you do is you just never delete the directory that the ROMs end up in. And then one day you decide, I'm going to go clean it up. And then you look at the actual number and you're like, whoa. Okay, that's a few. Oops. So now it's hard not to keep track of them. So there you go.
Hey, if you're McBain and you see Baigan at K value, are you taking the fight right away?
Nope.
Yeah, that's might be literally the worst spot to find him.
Yeah. No.
Val mostly free, with some Bacchus wine, but
we're not even that. This is the only spot that you can go right through Val's spin. So if Val is here, Palom actually can do work here.
Yeah, it is the only spot on the moon that does not have any mesh defense. That's true.
Yep. No, don't get me wrong. You can take her out fairly quickly, but there's no reason to. So
well, I don't think McBain has the mute knife, so I don't think McBain actually can.
Yeah.
But that is definitely that's some knowledge. But I think it's very unlikely that we'll be back there anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Unless this seed goes from very, very jetty to incredibly trolly very quickly.
I'm really curious, right? And like, you look at the levels on McBain, where are the levels going to come from?
He has hourglasses. You can do trap chests.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, no mute knife, which takes warlocks out. I do no arty arrows.
Nope.
So that came from the earth crystal. So,
When we think about free bosses, Imps are off the table, Water Hag's off the table, King Queen Evelyn's off the table. I mean, Kaipo guards, I suppose you could go ahead and maybe freeze and get some life glitching on there if you happen to go ahead and find them at the right spot. But that's the only free boss I can think of that's left.
Yeah, and you're not at 10 key items, so no matter what you're doing is halved. I like the tech from McBain there, drop a battle speed 3 for this fight. You never know what's here. And there are some fights here on battle speed 1 that just, you don't have time. Well, so yeah, about that.
This spot is not guaranteed. We do have those illusions you talk about.
Yeah. So this spot is sneaky punchy. It hits hard, and there's 3 of them punching you, so it hits really hard. So
now, in this exact room, you can siren up gold dragons for 90k a piece, and he does have hourglasses. He doesn't have weak, and it would be a little time consuming. By a little, I mean a lot. But Rosa has 473 HP, and he's had Rosa the entire time. It's not like with Rhybon, who recently picked up Rosa, who's currently still an anchor.
Yeah. This is the danger is, we play these seeds and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm in go mode. Okay. And what do I do?
I mean, if Val is in the tower room, I'm gonna burst.
I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Well, let's find out. Who we got?
Well,
that's a key item. Well, that's a
but the issue is, okay, but what key item are you willing to chase? That's the bad part.
With 6 bosses down, none.
Yeah.
Maybe Luca.
Well, okay, so here's what needs to happen, and this actually is advantage to Rhybon if he swings this. This needs to be a key item. Demus needs to be a key item. And then he's at 10.
Yeah.
And then you just go detonate eggs, you get up on the moon, you find this fight, and that's your ball game.
Yep. That's fair. McBain is summoning those gold dragons. With life glitch, this will be 90,000 a pop. It'll certainly help. Is Rosa gonna get a sling? Has she been down that much? She might.
I don't think so. My concern right now is Sid. So these levels are great and all, but Sid's getting up there. His agility at this point is probably sitting in the neighborhood of 12, would be my guess. So this is gonna get a little sketchy.
Yeah, that mute knife purchase, just something that he happened to go ahead and find, is playing enormous dividends. We don't really like shopping, generally speaking, but
that's probably like one of the top 3 items. That's not a key item, by the way. That was gosh. Probably one of the top 3 items. I think it's like almost an instant purchase when you see it in a shop, because it does double duty. It's great for edge, and it's also a +5 stick for a mage.
Yeah.
So it can pull either way depending on your character selection. So it's really good to have one.
Demus is giving us half a Forge.
All right, that's 9.
Forge on here with these characters would be because between Sid and Kane alone, there's a handful of super smiths that are very relevant, and then you pop in the ability for either one of the blades.
Okay. Remember I was talking about Baron Basement?
Yeah, I don't remember what was down there, but Rhybon doesn't know.
A certain 8-legged, yeah.
Yeah. So if you can get through those initial punches, I don't think Rhybon has the Thunderclaw that McBain does, but with these levels, this is certainly doable.
And like I said, if this is 10, so yeah. Answer a question from Trat Corpse. No, the pass does not count. Yeah, the pass is not a key item.
Yeah, and we're seeing the impact.
We wish it was. Boy, there are times where it hurts to do a 9 key item grind, and you're just staring at that pass like, I really want this to be a key item right now so much.
Are you a little surprised Rhybon didn't take the fight in hopes of a key item?
No, because this I'd rather know where the boss is. And I guess the thing is too, like, with his party. I don't know if Edge has image yet, but you can quack loop the arms. Like, there is a way through this Baigen fight, like, at these levels right now. It's possible. But you've got to get through that opening salvo. That's the big part.
He's got Charm Rod, Black Shirt. Is he going to need to bluff once?
No. He'll loop the arms just fine. So, I mean, that's your 10th key item regardless, because that's your crystal. So, and then at that point, you know, basically he will probably do either eggs or what McBain's exactly doing, and then just go home, hit the pass, and you're done.
Yeah. Speaking of McBain, slow and steady, we're starting to see those HP totals come up a little bit. To your point, Sid is up there. I don't believe they picked up a cursed ring. I think we would have seen that, or someone in chat would have seen that.
I can see him trading because, like, you know, once again, you have the pass in your hand, so your end game's on Earth, so you can always swing by Mysidia and throw Sid away and grab someone that's, you know, a better anchor at that point.
Yeah, so. I don't think his form has all that many levels, and really, as long as it's, you know, below, you know, whatever, they should be fine.
Yep.
I don't think either one of our runners are going to get palmed to nuke. I think we're going to see some nerfing and some very highly skilled understanding of the script of Z. That's Cure 4 on Rosa on McBain. That might be what he needs to go ahead and take on this Baigen. Would you exit out, save, and come back in?
No.
Apparently not if you're McBain.
No.
He's going.
No, you're going up against one of the best in the business in Rhybon. You ain't got time for that. Like, no. Battle speed 3 and just loop those arms, and you're fine.
There is image, to your point.
Yep, and there's illusion. So your front row's covered now, so now it's just...
oh, no.
Well, that's one turn gone. Okay.
Well, Rosa has blank, so I have to imagine that's going to be going out.
Yeah, you remember those starting elixirs? Boy, do they come in handy.
You know, for as rude as so many things of this flag set can be, that is that is quite nice.
Yep.
But we have a decent amount of safety here. Rosa is really the only one in fear of getting bopped. It's worth noting that the vampires will still go ahead and do some damage, but you're really worried more about getting punched in the face than you are about a vampire sucking your HP at this particular spot.
Yep, exactly.
So let's see how this does. 1800 in the middle. That's some pretty good swing for Edge. Another benefit to the Quake taking out the arms is that the back rowing won't be an issue. Ooh, that's an angry Quake.
Yeah.
Now we'll see our melee damage do some real work. I think it's safe to say that McBain is through.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just it's a standard rotation. You just keep blink on the kid. Just wait on his turn. As soon as you see the arms regen, you cast another Quake.
So once McBain is through, he will not have 10 key items. The crystal will not make 10. He has clearly enough levels to go ahead and get through this. Rhybon will be at 10 key items. If you're McBain, do you grind before Z? If you're Rhybon, do you grind before Z?
It's okay. Rhybon, absolutely. Of course you do, because like you look at this party right now, there's no world where like nerfing and healing and whatever combo right now is gonna fly for him. McBain on the other side, this is interesting. This is one of those very sketchy, borderline terrifying fights that may not be McBain's comfort zone, and it might be more of, you know what, let me push Rosa to like 2000 HP and I'd be happy, or whatever line that McBain has for her, and then yes. But you're going against Rhybon. Like,
It's, I mean, the fight is doable. And these are some of, it can be done. Yeah. You're looking at maybe what?
The saddest Ruby of them all. That is what I'm looking at right now. So, it's so sad.
I know that when you do the package, you get your sad piggy noises and your happy piggy noises. Do we get anything for recovering a very sleepy piggy? Is that in the scripting at all?
No. Sadly, we don't. So back to Earth we go. What, eggs? Trade out anchor and just do eggs till you feel like you're at a comfortable level. And
I mean, it's an hour 2 in a Red Moon scene, and you just hit go mode. You haven't had any major mistakes. How far behind do you really feel?
You don't,
He's going.
but you know,
Oh.
we're taking the whale over to
Okay. All right. So we're gonna see some eggs real quick.
yeah.
What's your
Well,
is Edge strong enough to go ahead and one shot?
one
I
shot
feel
eggs right now. With
Mhm.
his power, no. No.
Thinking that. We're buying
Coffins would be
sirens.
wonderful. Also swapping out, you know, obviously the anchor, like put Palom up in 2 and just let him cast virus. With the plus stat gear he's got, he's powerful enough one shot eggs.
And Rhybon does have that assassin
There it
dagger.
is.
He could possibly be he could do some swoon procs there if he was feeling up to it.
Yeah.
This is incredibly close. So we're about to see some dueling grinds here and probably some dueling Z fights. I don't think it needs to be said, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway for the sake of redundancy because it makes me happy. Please give these runners a follow. They are clearly putting on a show. They have been maybe not flawless necessarily, but they have been just tremendously quick. As we're going to see some gold dragons for 180 pop.
I like how you didn't say flawless. Would you want to race either of these two?
No.
Okay.
listen. Hold on. I'm a huge baseball person, okay? All right. If Francisco Lindor, that's for you, Doc, goes 3 for 4 in a game, okay? Was mathematically, was he flawless? No, he wasn't. He was 3 for 4. Does that mean I want to pitch against him? No. Okay. But all right, there are some major, maybe some minor flubs here and there.
Okay.
These are some of the absolute best of the best.
Yeah.
There's no question, and
They're
that's
top
why
8
we're
for a
seeing.
reason.
Yeah, and we're seeing the times that we're seeing, and guess what? We get to see them again because, reminder, folks, we are really starting to get into some of the juicy part of this tournament. We've already had some amazing matches. This is best of 3, baby. They're going to go at least one more time. And based off of what we're seeing, it wouldn't be shocking if this goes 3. I have no idea who's going to win.
No. Like I said, it's a comfort level. It's where do you decide that you can, you know, because, it's going to be nerfing and, you know, other tactics here. And that's how we're getting through this. So I think Rhybon's got an edge on the equipment side of things, though. So, and obviously the anchor side is going to be fantastic, too. So,
well, I think McBain will take the time, to your point earlier, just to go ahead and swap out. Putting Edge in the middle for... Well, it's a strike first.
For reasons.
For reasons.
For reasons.
With the strike first, it's not going to matter all that much. And to your point, there's Palom going ahead and one-shotting with the virus.
Yeah.
If I'm McBain, I'm thinking maybe 2,000 for Rosa, and off we go. I'm not sure what the threshold is going. Maybe Cure 4 on Rhybon's side for Porum, and then you go.
It makes it so much more comfortable just because of counter nukes and things and what can happen, and the fact Cure 4 is also instant.
Yeah, the two of those are huge.
A benefit, yeah.
Yep. To answer a question in chat, nope. We have not found any curse strings. We haven't found dwarf axes. We have not found any significant agility manipulating gear in the negative. We found heroin robes and ninja shirts, but we have not found drain spears or dwarf axes or curse strings. So Rosa's creeping up toward that 2,000. Already does have Cure 4. Palom's so slow.
He is.
He's so. I mean, like, Edge just went twice.
He is okay. Look, when you cast spells at the level he does, he's allowed to, you know, skip leg day once in a while. Like,
well, he's also 9, so I don't know how many 9-year-olds.
Well, you know, hey.
I guess kids are slow too. I don't think them tiny little legs and trying to run around.
Unless you feed them a ton of sugar, then they're not very slow.
My 8-year-old, Lord knows, put that child in the right circumstances. McBain not going for an anchor, is going to Z. Scala, correct me that Palom is 5?
Yeah, so feed him sugar. That'd be great. Look, I keep trying to feed my sister's kids sugar all the time in an attempt where I never have to babysit them. You know what? It's still not working. So I'll feed him sugar.
That's I have some thoughts on that for off stream, but for on stream, we've got some Z flags because at a whole hour and 7 minutes in, McBain's about to go ahead and fight Zeromus. What's up with these Z flags, Martin?
Nap. Tired.
I could.
Sleep?
I had my first day back at school with the kiddos. I could certainly go ahead and take a nap.
Yeah.
But what I think it is that our Zeromus sprite is randomized because Zeromus himself certainly cannot be. You don't want to see Zeromus.
No, I want to see that Odin only shop again. Go back there, please.
Okay, all right. Maybe he did that just for you. Maybe he's looking for Cure 3s or Ether 2s. I don't know. But
Yep.
we have 8 Google to the something power.
570 plus.
All right. If you want to be literal and not hilarious about it,
I
just be
wasn't
accurate.
exact. I don't look. There's like 3 people who know the exact number. I'm not one of them.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes.
Well, and clearly I'm not either. But
Yeah.
regardless, we have a multitude of questions in chat. We have Z flags in chat, which brings us to one very, very, very important question.
Why does the butt not have a hat?
I don't know how many times that sentence has been uttered. Literally ever.
At least 5.
At least 5. Okay.
Yes.
Keeping track of that along with your 217.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, I can run with it. So, but as chat points out, this isn't a free fight. This is far from it.
No.
So this is going to be interesting to watch. I think Rhybon's done.
Rhybon.
And the kids got Nuke and White.
Yep. So.
So while we wait for McBain, boy, does that setup look familiar. Hey, you remember Adamant Cup?
I do.
You remember how we only had 4 characters back then?
I do.
You got really good at two mage reflex strats.
Yep.
And Rhybon's party is exactly set up for it. So we know what's coming.
He's got a spoon to throw to help chip into that 61. That now that's not free either because the cast time on White can be a bit of a issue, as I think we're about to swag whale. No.
So is that a hat?
Yes. I feel like I just saw this one. I guess.
Is that a hat?
It's a human rights violation if that's a hat.
Well, I mean, it's like the picture. It looks like a hat.
I mean, if that's like a legit unionized job, that's a parking ticket walk right there.
That is. See, this is why I petitioned for a second parking spot in front of Toraya, but I never get it. There's the Troyan Parking Authority. Okay, there's people.
Oh, okay.
I've asked said people, and I'm still waiting on my application, but I'm trying.
I have questions. So McBain, this is going to be close. This is going to be phenomenally, beautifully close. How can you not love tournament season for this game?
Yeah.
Reflect fights, of course, are faster. We are in full-blown. Palom might be helping, so maybe we have some hybrid strats, but this is mostly just going to be a Zerker party. On McBain's side, we're going to see Black Holes. That's a Blizzard Spear that Kane is rocking. We're looking at between 3,500 to 4,500 a round. This is going to be incredibly, incredibly close.
Yeah. Now this is, and on Rhybon's side, as Possum's pointing out, he doesn't need a save. There is one way that this fight can go wrong. Other than this is done before the second Big Bang fires. So McBain is currently on about a 3-minute timer.
And Palom is helping. That was 6,000. That's not nothing when your DPS with your melee characters is so underwhelming compared to some of the overwhelming party power that we're used to having. And just the little things our runners are doing, right? Why cast Lit 3? Not just because it's powerful, but because the animation time barely exists, so it takes less time. It's just these little beautiful things along the way that it's just so much fun to watch high quality runners like this. So there it is, folks.
Hey,
you got your dueling
Z fights
from 2 of the best runners that we have. What a shock!
We really ask for anything more? I don't think so. Nah, that would have just been greedy. So.
No. Also, I'm gonna be singing "I've Got Rhythm" in my head for the next 18 minutes. So thank you so much.
So so basically the way this fight goes for Rhybon, Starveil on Kane, you bounce the White because the White won't fire because of the delay time on Battle Speed 3. You put a nuke into Z's face to trigger the counter nuke, so the first Big Bang is nerfed. Throw your spoon, and Bob's your uncle, you're already at 30,000 damage. And then you just start bouncing spells for the rest and you're done.
what a great target that that counter nuke hit, hitting
Yeah.
the person that can tank it, and he still got the spoon off.
Yeah,
'Cause
that-
I don't think he's gonna be attacking from here on out.
That's where it can get a little tricky, is if that counter nuke goes exactly on Palom. That's where things can go sideways.
Yep. But it didn't.
No.
So we're seeing just how quick we're going through here. Even every time I see that flash, it makes me think that we're done. It's messing with me every time he crits.
No. Yeah, that's critical hits. No, that's fine. It's fine. We're good.
Yeah. So we have our first big bang in here. It was nerfed. We're not going to see any healing. We're just going to see more and more spells going out. Man, how often do you see a Rosa, Anchor, and Porm as the white mage? That's not something, like, I understand why it happened. It makes total sense, but man, that is not something that you see every day.
Look, you use the tools that you're given. Like, I mean, when's the last time you saw Kane using a Blizzard Spear in a Z fight?
On T-Pro?
I mean, for me, it was like 3 days ago, but that's not the point.
Okay.
These flag sets, the Blue Moon, Red Moon, Blue Moon, little more happy because T Wildish is on, so gearing less of a concern. But when you're on T Pro, like, can you afford to spend the time shopping and things like that? You just kind of take what you find throughout the seed and away you go.
Well,
So-
but to your point though, that mute knife, I mean, how enormous was that
Yeah.
mute knife? And that was
Yeah.
found shopping.
Exactly. So
So I think
yeah.
this nuke is it.
yeah, if this isn't it, it's the following white cast that does it. So
I think
and
we might have GG's here.
oh, McBain is not going. Yeah, boy. But Sephiroth. Yeah, bye.
Well, get your
Bye.
GG's in chat. That is Rhybon putting on a clinic, as did McBain, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They had divergent paths, which led to different grinds, but my goodness gracious, what a race. And we are, in fact, joined by our winner today of the first game of 3. Oh, man, we get to have another one of this at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 39 seconds. Rhybon, GG's.
Hey. Thanks.
Hi.
John. Hi, Martin. Hi,
Nice,
John.
nice
Hey, hey.
clinic there, sir. Well done.
Appreciate it. First, I have to ask John, did you ask the question?
I did ask the question. We're going to have words about the fact that you used the word John on Eddie. We'll talk about that off stream, but you're in a little bit of trouble, sir.
What? I mean, Anna was just cheering you on when we found that
Mhm.
required water hag. What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry. At
It's
all.
not your fault.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome. So, the seed. I mean, okay, you obviously saw the water hag was in play, so you're like, okay, yay. The underground. Tell us about the underground, and as soon as you turned in that pan.
When I turned in the pan, I noticed I was getting a little closer to 10 key items. I think there was an earth crystal, there was a tower key up there, and with the grind seemed to be set because there's no cello in the sea, no D machines or anything like that. I wanted 10 key items, trying to get Palom, Porum up to nuke white so I can do what I did to that Zeronis, because otherwise, yeah, Edge is pretty cool. Kane's kind of potato, and Young requires just as many levels to be functional as Palom and Porum, so I may as well go nuke white instead. So I'm like, okay, well, I am really, really low on money. I was, very, very, pretty much, it was like poverty percent for the most part for this seed. So I'm like, let's go loot that treasury. Found a couple of nice things in there too. Tons of money that I can sell or acquire and use for bucket lines, use for sirens. And I'm like, well, I'm channeling my inner Martin. I could go do top of tower. I do have a tower key. I know Golbez is up there. But one thing Martin would tell me, and he's told me in the past, is do that because you get to peek the Dwarf 2 boss as a result. So that's why I marched right up that. That, unfortunately, tended to be a bit of a letdown this seed. With Hardy Arrows, King Queen Dublin, and I think Magus Sisters. So nothing great, but at least I knew that Dwarf Castle was in play, Dwarf Castle was valuable. I just didn't know how valuable at the time.
Yeah, it kind of had the keys to everything, didn't it?
It literally could not have been more valuable.
Wow. Yeah, very good. So, other than that, I mean, yeah, like you said, pretty straightforward. You find that Beigen there. Oh boy, how exciting. How happy were you though? It's like, oh, 10 key items, so all I have to do is grind and go.
I was quite happy. I was even more happy to have that Moonveil and finally have a decent use for it, because that Beigen does hit pretty hard. I hadn't done any grinding up to that point. And yeah, my team was getting punched down relatively quickly. Luckily, Ed got targeted many, many times, so that took a bit of the stress off, and lo and behold, I'm right here at the Murasame altar. I can do my grind right now. I have hourglasses, I have sirens. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, and it worked out really well for you. So, you're 1-0. So, game 2, soon TM. Is anything changing?
Hard to say. Like, McBain is a very fierce opponent. This is my second tournament in a row I faced him. We've had very close matches just about every single time we've played. We play on the ladder quite often. I'm not sure what I should change, but I probably won't change anything and just keep on hoping that I edge him out slightly by getting a little luckier than he does.
I mean, 98 seconds, if my math is right. That's how close this one was. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the weird thing, that is not our closest match, so...
Look, I may have said the T word earlier. Let's not bring that one. I don't need to get newspapered again, so...
I thought you were immune to newspaper by this point.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't feel them anymore, so it's fine.
Okay, John can bring it up then.
When is game 2?
Game 2 is 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and Game 3, which will likely be required, will be 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
I mean, it wouldn't, with your 2 talents, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So, John, you got anything left for Rhybon before we let him go?
Nothing of terrible consequence. How often do you shop? Because that mute knife ended up coming in handy quite a bit. I think when you watch this back, you'll see that saved you quite a bit of time on a handful of fights.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll shop when it's convenient for the most part, especially with an edge start. I'm looking for long swords, looking for mute knives. Heck, I'll even take a couple dancing daggers if I can to upgrade the 2 short sword that I start with. And convenient normally ends up being, Baron when you check Baron in, Fabul when you are doing Fabul defense, and Mysidia when you're picking up your characters. And luckily, there were a lot of good hits today with life potions, cure 2s, and those mute knives. So yeah, and I like to try to move Mysidia toward the end. So it's great if you go to Mysidia first, which a lot of people do, and I might do on a Settle start. But I'd like to be able to buy stuff while I'm there, and I can't do that if I look at it first. So that's why I try to fade it a little bit.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And the other thing that made me chuckle, I don't think I've ever seen anyone leave a Feymarch throne room sometimes I need a second to be like, wait, is that a required ball? Bro, you just left. I don't feel like the gif of like Forrest like running home to Jenny. Bro, you left that room so fast. I'm impressed with the dexterity of your hands that you were able to go ahead and exit that quickly.
I looked at them both and I'm like, I have an exit spell. I'm going to use my exit spell. You are going to have to force me to do this seed. You're going to have to put the darkness crystal behind them. And even then, I have a pass. So there's a chance I don't have to do these.
Yeah, so it was just, it's obviously the right play, and but it was hilarious just watching you get out that quick and impressive.
Hey, I'm taking enough of your time. Martin, John, appreciate the comms. Look forward to watching this back. Neil Bari, thank you for rolling a very jetty seed, because I still have to make dinner tonight. And Fiery Blizzard, I hope we challenged you with your button pressing tonight. It was a quick one, so I'm sure you had to hit a lot of them very quickly.
That he did. So, all right, go enjoy the rest of your evening, Rhybon. Enjoy dinner.
Thank you for everything.
Guys.
Good night. All right.
Wow, look at that. We just traded. We gave away a Rhybon, and now we have a McBain. Hi, McBain.
Hi.
GG's to you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a race.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you two, that's almost a certainty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seeing you two, you were very much in lockstep for most of the run. I guess the first question is the underground routing. The pan.
Mm-hmm. The pan? Well, the pan doesn't give a boss, so I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting missing one boss, and that's 2 key item maybe, but it's not a boss. But maybe it was 2 key items that I could have used. Very badly.
I would say it's easy to look at hindsight on that one now, but what are the odds that the pan gives you exactly 2 for what are the odds that you can get exactly 2 key items out of it to give you 10? That never happens.
No. Anyway, I wasn't gonna check now. I was like, I'm committed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like Dwarf Castle without a warp glitch will give you 2 key items in the darkness, or 2 bosses and a darkness crystal. Never happens. Absolutely
Yeah,
never.
never. But yeah, I mean, very well played. The Bigan, obviously, that's not a fun fight.
No.
Was there any? We saw you drop battle speed immediately, so you prepped for that, knowing, yeah, this could be something ugly that I may have to face. Of course.
And yeah, anyway, I was going to reset if it was something else. So Val or Bigan there, I'd rather have slower.
Sure.
Yeah. Obviously, do the dragons, the next time through and everything. We were talking about it on stream. Did you have a number in mind of, what do I need to get through this fight now that I know it's here?
Oh, just 1 or 2 was enough, probably. I just want to blink on Rosa, really.
Okay.
I didn't have blink on Rosa. I was like, oh, this is impossible.
Wandering is like, yeah, edge with no image. You have 1 illusion in your inventory. Like, this might not go well.
I love that you're able to do so much that you can go ahead and go so fast that you can get up on the moon before Rosa even has blink. That alone just speaks to the caliber of the run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know when race 2 is. It's coming up Thursday. Do you change anything for game 2?
I don't know yet. Maybe a little. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still very salty about that Mad Ogre chess.
Yeah, I enjoyed the little victory from Rosa. It was pointed out in chat that you had bought 10 Bacchus wines. Is there a number that you were looking to steal that you would have felt comfortable with, or are you just trying to kind of just get a couple extras just in case?
Yeah, I just wanted extras. Actually, what I really wanted was Quake, but yeah, that didn't happen because no live glitch because I had to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only question I have is, was there any temptation to go ahead and pick up an anchor from Mysidia before going to the Z fight?
Yeah, I did think about it, but my level was so bad, and I prefer to have Stid survive and recover. At that point, it was either I overlive a little more or I go now, and I'd rather go now. So I don't know. I just decided that Stid's gonna survive if something bad happens, and I can recover. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Just use him as a chemist and go from there. Was part of that decision also the fact that it's exactly Rhybon you're going against? Like, do you make that decision if you're going against a different opponent, or
maybe not? I knew I was like, he's about there probably, or he's grinding right now. Am I just gonna stay here and lose? Really? No, I'd rather try to win and lose than lose because I just didn't take the risk.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. Game 2 Thursday, 98 seconds. That's the difference. So
let's make it 97.
I was gonna say, next time, I have a feeling you two, regardless of the result, it's gonna be closer next time. I don't know why I know this, but I do.
Watching you two reminds me of Zoe and Possum in ZZ4. 3 matches, and like the total time difference was like a minute and a half or something. Just ludicrous and so fun for us watching.
Yeah, Jet Seed can be a really fun. Like complete seeds are fun, and Jet Seeds are fun, and everything is usually in the middle. So it's also fun, but it's different.
Yeah, and you played this one really well. So
yeah, it's definitely fun watching you.
Very much so. Looking forward to seeing you in game 2. So. Anything else, John?
No, I'm great. Just thank you so much for putting on such a clinic. I think when you watch this back, you're just going to see the fun that, at least we had watching, and chat certainly did too. You guys are just extraordinary.
Thanks.
All right, take care, McBain.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
GG's. Well, that was fun.
We got a water hag. We had a jet. We had... Holy smokes.
Yeah, we had a very required dwarf. We had a little bit of divergence. We had dueling Z fights. We had a little bit of everything on this one in such a short amount of time.
I know. Unfortunately, we do have a problem.
What's that? Well,
according to my clock here, it's currently 5:37 Pacific.
Okay, I don't abide by that time, but go ahead.
I know. It's a special time for me. we can't sit here and talk for literally 20 minutes about all things like rotisserie and barbecue and things like that.
Well,
they're not going to allow it. No, they're not going to allow it.
I mean, we
No.
could. We have that capacity.
No, we're not. We're going to get our mics cut off. I already know that for a fact as well.
Correct.
So rather than go raid the next two races, which are starting in I don't know 20-ish minutes, y'all should just go open the windows now. Just open Free Enterprise 2, open Free Enterprise 3. Just put them up there. Turn your audio up and walk away. Go get food. Go get your beverages. And then when you hear the audio blaring out of your speakers, then you know the races are started. Then you should come back to your computer. See, this is great. This is brilliant.
There it is.
Yeah.
On Free Enterprise 2, we have Gambit versus Locke. On Free Enterprise 3, we have Vaz versus Neon Gray.
Yeah. Great comms, great restart, great everything. Just go follow the runners. Go follow McBain. If this wasn't a reason to follow him, just listen to us. Go follow him.
And if you are relatively new, what a great time to be watching. Please look at our Discord. Please go ahead and ask your questions. There is a newbies corner. As anyone that's ever heard me say, it is literally the nicest place on the